Hey man, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Quez, man. I'm back in another banger. And so we got the harsh truth about the GOAT debate. And this one about Jimmy Harbaugh. Y'all love these type of videos, especially LeBron versus Jordan. And this will be a debate for like literally decades to come. Who knows what LeBron gonna end up doing? But hey, I'm a LeBron fan, but I still got Jordan as the GOAT. Even though I feel like it's closer than what people think, it's still a gap. I think Jordan the GOAT by a little gap. Even though it's closer than what y'all think, bro. It's closer than what y'all think for real, bro. Even though it's just the clutch gene is what just puts Jordan above LeBron for me. And Jordan was a winner, bro. Even though he didn't have to face the competition LeBron had to face, other than his first like 10 years when he was playing against the Pistons and things like that. But other than that, bro, in the NBA Finals, he didn't have to face the type of competition LeBron had to face, bro. Golden State, the Dynasty Spurs, the Dynasty Golden State, like LeBron, the type of competition LeBron had to face. Only staying on his finals record legacy is literally the 2011 series. Other than that, bro, like, what can you say about LeBron, bro? But before we get to, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. You're on that road to 5K. Let's do it.
To get the fresh 14 for the Lakers.
LeBron!
Oh my Lord!
Put that nigga in the rim.
It's never gonna end, is it? LeBron's reign over the NBA. I've just come to the conclusion that LeBron has hacked into the Matrix and has transcended aging. LeBron is in
No cap, bro. His longevity is what put him above a lot of players. That's just one thing that put him above a lot of players. His longevity in the first place. That's not the only thing.
19th NBA season and is somehow still one of the best players on the planet.
Crazy.
This isn't supposed to happen. 99% of NBA players peak in their mid to late 20s and then slowly regress as they age, eventually becoming a liability to their team and inevitably sailing off into the sunset, washed up and content with their achievements. But not LeBron. The man is fighting his age like he's got a grudge on time itself. And the more he piles up on these mind-bending feats, the more we must ask ourselves the question. And I really hate to do this, but is LeBron the greatest basketball player of all time?
He right there, number 2, bro. Right there. I feel like the gap between 1 and 2 is closer than the gap between 2 and 3. Facts.
And if he isn't, what would he need to do to truly, once and for all, be the GOAT? About 5 years ago, I uploaded my first basketball-related video onto this channel. The title of that video, Daughter of a Production,
I ain't even see that this was I thought this was a promotion. My bad. I was about to skip this. I ain't gonna lie. Okay.
Video onto this channel. The title of that video is LeBron the GOAT. You can still watch this video today, but since it's an absolute dog water of a production, I highly recommend you steer clear of it. To summarize the video, I gave 10 reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. Fast forward 5 years and thousands of hours of watching games, collecting data, and gathering context in this sport that we love. I've since changed my ways and realized that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time.
Facts.
But
I had the same realization. Even though for a little bit I did have LeBron as a GOAT for a minute, for like, I say once he won that chip with the Lakers, bro, that's when I had him as the GOAT. And then once I started doing reaction videos, like around like September, October, November, that's when I had like changed my opinion back to Jordan being the GOAT. Because at first I had Jordan as the GOAT, then 2020 came, LeBron won that chip. I gave him his respect. I was calling him the GOAT. You know, like,
my original assessment from 5 years ago hasn't completely changed, because I never said LeBron was the GOAT at the time. I just gave 10 reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. But ever since
and the nigga still ain't retired yet, bro. He still got a chance, bro. He could win another ring. I feel like LeBron win another ring, I'll put him back as a GOAT. I'm not gonna lie. He get one more ring, I'll put him as a GOAT. I don't care what y'all say. All you need is one more ring for me.
I just gave 10 reasons.
Just give me 5 rings, because you done play about 21 years, bro. You need more than 4 rings in 21 years.
Reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. But ever since I dropped that video,
nigga, Kobe got 5 rings in 20 years. So LeBron, you cool with your 4 rings, bro. Like, nah.
10 reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. But ever since I dropped that video, I've pretty much avoided the GOAT conversation altogether. I've put a spin on the—
Tim Duncan got 5 rings in like 20 years. Kobe got 5 rings in 20 years. Literally only one more ring than LeBron. Y'all be acting like these niggas is Let's not get into all that, bro.
Ever since I dropped that video, I've pretty much avoided the GOAT conversation altogether. I've put a spin on the idea of the greatest players in certain aspects of the game, I've talked about the greatest scorers, I've ranked players using purely numbers, but I've never really broken down who the greatest player is, in my opinion, because I just feel like the topic is a bit redundant. And ESPN already gives you a daily update on the GOAT debate anyways, so no need for me to do it. But I think it's time we actually discuss this, because what LeBron is doing at this point in his career is just absurd. At the moment, there are pretty much 3 different camps on the whole GOAT debate. People who think Michael Jordan is the GOAT, people who think LeBron is the GOAT, and people who are wrong. I'm just joking.
Hey, that's facts. That's facts, bro. If you don't got LeBron or Jordan as your GOAT, bro, what are you talking about? Niggas that put Kobe as a GOAT, you're crazy. Kobe definitely not better than Jordan. For sure not better than LeBron. Nigga literally tried to beat Jordan. There's no way he's better than Jordan. You're not better than LeBron, I'm sorry. If y'all got Kareem as a GOAT, no. Wilt, no. Bill Russell, you're crazy. Other than that, like, I don't know. I don't see, those are the usual 5 you see people put as a GOAT. You see Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem. I feel like those are the typical, like, 6 players. Did I name 6? Those are typical like 5 to 6 players you see as the GOAT. Even though Bill Russell's like barely top 10 for me, I'm sorry. I get it. He got 11 rings. I get it. It's a respect thing, but no. He's barely top 10. I'm sorry.
But not really. I'd say about 75% of people fall into the...
A lot of people put Birds to GOAT too. I ain't mad at that, but he's not.
Joking, of course. But not really. I'd say about 75% of people fall into the MJ's the GOAT category, about 20% of people fall into the LeBron's the GOAT category, and about 5% fall into the other category. Usually these other fans believe the GOAT is Wilt or Kobe or Kareem. There's not many of them, but boy, will they die on that hill. See, the thing here is that a lot of the fans in MJ's corner believe that he is and will forever be the GOAT. But realistically, is there anything LeBron can do to surpass him? I mean, there's gotta be some sort of objective metric we can use to distinguish the greatest player of all time. No opinions, no bias, just the facts.
I feel like LeBron can get 6 rings. If LeBron end up winning 2 more rings, easily the GOAT. Easily.
If LeBron somehow won 4 more championships and retired with 8 rings, he'd undoubtedly be the GOAT, right? So there are paths for him to become the greatest ever. But
I'm sorry I'm pausing much, but I feel like LeBron could win LeBron could win 5 rings in a row right now. And Jordan fans will literally still call this nigga, say he's not the GOAT just because of 2011 or something like that. Like, LeBron hate is crazy.
Where does that threshold lie? And what would LeBron have to achieve to get there? First, let's just take a look at the basic numbers. Between Michael and LeBron, LeBron has more career points, rebounds, assists, blocks, more triple doubles, higher field goal percentage, and a higher 3-point percentage. And Michael has more steals and a higher free throw percentage. But this whole argument, the career totals argument, is only useful in demonstrating LeBron's longevity.
Yeah, I feel like that's like not really like the longevity. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's better to compare peaks and like by age. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but still, even by age, I don't know. I just feel like you should compare players at their best, because like when you look at like longevity stats, it's like Kareem and LeBron is easily the GOAT if you're talking about career numbers.
And sustained excellence. Totals argument is only useful in demonstrating LeBron's longevity and sustained excellence. These numbers don't prove that LeBron's a better scorer, or rebounder, or defender, or shooter than Jordan. They just prove that LeBron's been good at these things for a very, very long time.
Facts.
These numbers also show just how versatile LeBron is, possibly his most valuable asset. So instead of looking at career totals, let's look at career averages. Michael averages more points and more steals, and LeBron averages more assists and more rebounds. And as much as it pains me to say this, this is usually where the argument for the GOAT ends for most people. Throw in a required comment about their finals records and you pretty much have a condensed version of most GOAT debates. But there is so much more to unpack here. So let's unpack it.
Let's see.
So y'all know how much I like advanced stats. They don't tell the full story, but if you know which ones to look for, you can discover some nuances in a player's game that you won't get by just watching them play. Player efficiency rating, win shares per 48, offensive box plus minus, defensive box plus minus, value over replacement, and true shooting percentage. These 6 advanced stats give us efficiency, production, value, impact, and pretty much everything in between. And in these 6 advanced statistics, Michael Jordan exceeds LeBron in 5 of them.
Damn.
He's more efficient overall. He contributes to more wins.
I'm not even gonna lie, literally all these, Jordan is like slightly better. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the gap is a lot closer than what people think. Cause bro, Jordan's literally slightly better in all these. Look at it. 0.2. The first one. 0.5. 0.2. 0.1. 0.2. Like, he's literally like
contributes to more points. He's better on defense, and he is generally more valuable on the court than LeBron is. The only advanced stat where LeBron tops Jordan is true shooting percentage. Now, in terms of who's a better basketball player, nearly every metric points to Michael Jordan. But really take a look at these numbers, and it's actually uncanny just how close LeBron is to MJ across the board.
Exactly what I said. Look how close he is, bro.
Just a fraction behind Jordan in pretty much everything. But these numbers aren't even addressing who's greater, because that conversation would involve accolades and accomplishments and impact on the game. Take away the rings, the influence, the intangibles, the opinions, and it's virtually objectively true that Michael was a better basketball player than LeBron. But the GOAT debate isn't necessarily about who is the better player, it's about who is the greatest player. We've got some more unpacking to do.
Let's do it. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Now, we cannot have a thorough GOAT debate without discussing the accomplishments of each player. Numbers are cool and they have their purpose, but numbers alone aren't indicative of greatness. They're just a vehicle to greatness. This is why, despite James Harden spending half a decade piling up some of the greatest scoring numbers in NBA history, most people don't consider him greater than some players with far lesser offensive numbers. The numbers complement the accolades, not
Facts.
the other way around. This is
Yeah, you can't put up numbers with no accolades. Facts. Especially the way people think. People put accomplishments over anything. I mean, that's how it should be. The game is it's about winning, but still, to an extent. Because Wilt Chamberlain is like what, 2-10 in the NBA Finals? Like Wilt final records is terrible. It's like 2-7 or something like that.
This is also why I consider Wilt Chamberlain to have been a better basketball player than Bill Russell, but Bill Russell was greater than Wilt.
Hell no. Wilt just played on Bill Russell had a greater team. Greater.
Achieved his greatness through his numbers, whereas Russell achieved his greatness by contributing to an unrelenting style of winning basketball. So let's take a look at the accomplishments of both Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Now, there are plenty of other awards a player can earn in the NBA, but these are the ones that really stand out on a player's resume. Championships, Finals MVPs, regular season MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, All NBA selections, and All Defensive Team selections. And amongst these 6 categories, Jordan beats LeBron in 5 of them. And Michael accomplished all of this in just 15 seasons to LeBron's full 18 seasons.
Damn. But still, LeBron is right behind him, but LeBron played at this point, done play about 6 more seasons than MJ, so that's crazy work. Nasty work.
The only category where LeBron outperformed Michael is in all NBA selections. And most will argue that, again, this is an accomplishment of longevity more than anything else, which, at this point, seems to be the overall theme in the GOAT debate. Up to this point in his career, the majority of fans will agree that LeBron has been a step below Jordan in terms of greatness. So now the race to become the GOAT has become a marathon, because eventually the sheer volume of LeBron's career numbers and achievements may become so overwhelming that we'll have no choice but to concede that he is in fact the greatest player of all time. Which brings us to a real dilemma in this age-old debate. The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. A great quote by the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu regarding the idea of excellence and the sustainability of it. Almost as if you can have longevity or be exceptional, but you can't have both. Now, in the world of basketball and sports in general, usually being exceptional translates to longevity and vice versa. Michael Jordan was excellent for 13 seasons in the NBA. His flame was violently bright and it burned for quite some time. But what if there was a flame that burned about 95% as bright and lasted much, much longer? At a certain point, the radiance of even the brightest flame is outclassed by the flame that just won't quit.
Yeah,
of course, LeBron is
a tough way to put it.
A flame. He's a 6'9", 250-pound freak of nature in basketball shoes, but his light shines about 95% as bright as Michael Jordan's did, and it's lasting a whole lot longer. When does the longevity of LeBron's brilliance simply outmatch the slightly greater but much shorter brilliance of Michael? Because as we've discussed, Mike trumps LeBron in pretty much every single metric other than longevity and overall production. So the real question here is, how much longer will LeBron have to be excellent before the majority agrees that he is greater than Michael was? The man is in his 19th NBA season and he's leading the NBA in scoring. He's still a top 5 player in the league, and his bag is getting deeper and deeper with every season. Here's a chart of LeBron's total points, assists, and rebound averages throughout each season of his career. Each point on the graph represents the total average of points, assists, and rebounds for every season of his career. So, for example, this season LeBron is putting up 8, 6, and 30 a game, so his total for the season is 44. Now, in the NBA, anything above a total of 40 is exceptional.
Damn.
LeBron's total production has exceeded 40 in 17 different seasons. Now here's
tough.
Michael's total average points, assists, and rebounds for every season of.
I'm saying, you see Jordan peak though. His peak was crazy, bruh. This part of the year he averaged like 37 or something like that.
His career. This is by far the greatest argument in favor of LeBron in the GOAT debate. The man has simply sustained excellence for longer than Mike did. And although the numbers are just a vehicle to greatness, there has got to be a point where the numbers are just too glaring to ignore. LeBron's numbers are getting to that point. But some fans will argue that there were other players that were still really good this late in their career.
Cap.
You mean like Kareem, or Kobe, or Karl Malone?
Cap.
They weren't even close. LeBron's already the only player to be a part of the 30K, 10K, 10K club.
And now he in a 40K, 10K, 10K. What are you talking about, nigga?
Aside from a freak injury, he'll undoubtedly break Kareem's scoring record. He'll probably play the most seasons in an NBA career. He already has the record for most All-NBA selections, and he's still adding to what is probably the longest career highlight reel with moments like this.
Damn.
If LeBron is still doing this in a couple years, while still putting up All-NBA numbers, I really think it's going to be difficult to say that he's not the greatest player ever. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. While LeBron's legacy is growing as he plays more seasons, Michael's legacy would have been slightly diminished if he played more seasons. Of course, this isn't a matter of fact.
That is facts though. If Jordan played like 20 years, that nigga career numbers would be terrible. It wouldn't be terrible, but he wouldn't average 30. It would be like probably like 28. Like his numbers would drop tremendously for sure.
All the evidence points towards this assumption. Michael Jordan retiring after playing just 13 NBA seasons in 1998 was the best thing he could have ever done for his legacy. The Bulls were not going to win another championship, and the backbone of the dynasty he had built had all but vanished by the beginning of the 1999 season. If he had played through that 3-year retirement gap from 1999 to 2001, he would have either stayed with the Bulls and put up huge numbers on a losing team, or signed with a different team and chased rings. Both options being far less illustrious than him going out on top with the team that drafted him. Michael's career was the perfect storm. He was drafted by a franchise that was ready and willing to build around him. He was on a roster that suited his skill sets extremely well, and he and the Bulls peaked right as the dominant teams from the 80s and early 90s like the Lakers, Celtics, and Pistons began to fade away. You could not have written a better career if you tried. On the other hand, despite his success, LeBron really got the short end of the deal many times throughout his career. He spent his first 7 seasons in the NBA playing for a team that could not have cared less about building a coherent
Nigga, LeBron be floating. God damn.
team around him. He spent 4 straight finals going toe-to-toe with the most dominant dynasty in modern NBA history outside of Jordan's Bulls. While Michael was surrounded by players who were all willing to buy into their system, LeBron has spent many years carrying the load of bad rosters and seemingly incompetent teammates.
Hey, that's a big fact too, bro. Like LeBron, literally his teammates, he be having good teams, but his teammates be like, they just don't click, bro. And Jordan, LeBron didn't have the luxury of having a good GM, a good coach. Like, he never had that luxury, bro. Niggas being coached by Darvin Ham right now. Like,
Toe to toe with the
come
most
on, bro.
dominant
Tyronn
dynasty.
Lue, like, he didn't have a Phil Jackson. Like, he ain't have what Jordan and Kobe had, or Phil Jackson. He ain't have a good GM putting stars around him. This nigga had to do it himself. He had to be the GM. He had to be the coach. This nigga had to do everything. Like, y'all don't understand that, bro. The type of pressure this nigga had. Like, first of all, to be a 16-year-old and niggas already saying you got to be the GOAT or your career is a failure. And look what he did, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Coherent team around him. He spent 4 straight finals going toe-to-toe with the most dominant dynasty in modern NBA history outside of Jordan's Bulls. While Michael was surrounded by players who were all willing to buy into their system, LeBron has spent many years carrying the load of bad rosters and seemingly incompetent teammates. Part of which is his own fault for trying to play GM and putting together piss-poor rosters. And I bring up these small nuances because the GOAT debate is very nuanced. As much as people want to act like the whole 6-0 in the finals is the end-all be-all to the discussion, it's just not. If rings were all that mattered, then Bill Russell would be the GOAT. Oh, but he played a long time ago, that doesn't count. Okay, well then Robert Horry is the GOAT because he has 7 rings to Jordan's 6. Well yeah, but Horry wasn't the best player on any of those championships. Okay, so is the argument about rings, or is it about being the best player on the court, or a mixture of both? Is a player's performance, despite how masterful it was, all in vain if his team loses? The line becomes less and less clear the deeper you dig. No single metric can be used to determine this debate. And the unpacking of
I mean, it's all just personal opinion, to be honest. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Every small minute detail is a necessary burden. But unfortunately, it's a burden that most fans won't bother to take on. At the moment, I personally believe Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I also think he's the best basketball player of all time. But, unlike some fans, I don't think the door has closed on LeBron. I think that if LeBron can continue to dominate the league for a few more seasons and continue to shatter our previous notions of what we thought was possible in a single NBA career, I think that he has a chance to retire as the greatest player of all time. But of course, only time will tell. And fortunately for LeBron, time seems to perpetually be on his side.
No cap, bro. Done beat Father Time for so many years now, man. Hey, this was a pretty good video. Y'all know Jimmy Harlow only put out bangers, so I expect this to be good. I mean, my opinion didn't change. I still think Jordan the GOAT, but I just feel like it's closer than what y'all give LeBron credit for. I ain't gonna lie. Jordan definitely the GOAT, man. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment what y'all want to see next. Comment who y'all think the GOAT is. Comment if y'all think it's close. Like, man, just like, comment, subscribe, man. I'm out. Love y'all, boys.